From 600 to 1500 CE, Islam spread across Africa, changing societies, politics, and economy.
What religions were significant in Africa?
Christianity and Islam were both very significant and gained many converts.
What was the importance of stateless societies in Africa?
Stateless societies were formed by people who lived according to lineages, or age sets. They had weak governments, so secret societies formed, and they were able to keep the community stable.
How did Islam affect African societies?
Many reformist movements began due to Muslim invaders. The Almoravids were formers of a puritanical movement, and the Almohadists was a similar group who followed the same pattern.
So, what about the Swahili coast?
Yeah, who lived on the Swahili coast?
There was a large wave of Bantu migration towards the African interior.
How did Islam help develop the Swahili coast?
Well, it provided the residents in these towns a universal set of ethics and beliefs that made their maritime contacts easier. But in East Africa, as in the savanna kingdoms of West Africa, Islamization was slow to reach the general population.
What were Africa's main exports along the coast?
Ivory, gold, iron, slaves, and exotic animals. In exchange were silks from Persia and porcelain from China. Let's talk about African kingdoms.
Where were the majority of African kingdoms located?
Many of the African kingdoms were located on the Sahel, which was an extensive grassland belt at the southern edge of the Sahara.
Why didn't they live outside grasslands?
They thrived in arid and semi-arid environments because they could not live in humid forest zones due to disease.
What was the downside of their location?
Because of their location, they were subject to many attacks and droughts.
Who led the kingdoms?
The kingdoms were often led by the patriarch or a council of elders from a particular family, or a group of lineages that established control over their neighbors.
What was the relevance of Islam to these leaders?
The rulers of these states were considered sacred and were surrounded by rituals that separated them from their subjects. The Islamic religion was considered a royal cult, so the rest of the population was not converted. How did the spread of Islam relate to another place of the world?
Around the same time, the Byzantine Empire formed new societies in the Balkans, just like how Islam was a major influence in Africa.
Although Africa was never in complete isolation, in the end, Islam brought Africa into contact with global community.